Hi, I'm Karen Borta with CBS News Texas, and joining me now is Hugh Forrest, the co-president of South by Southwest. Thank you very much for joining us today. So let's start by we've got so many people who have moved to Texas recently, and it sounds incredible to think that there might be some people who don't know what South by Southwest is, but we have to understand that is a possibility. How would you describe this festival since its inception in the late 80s?
Karen, great to be here. Thank you so much for hosting me. South by Southwest is essentially a 9-day celebration of creativity in all its many forms. We have a music festival, a film festival, a comedy festival, but we also have a big conference portion of the event, which focuses on very, very creative industry professionals across a wide variety of industries, ranging from technology, music, film, food, fashion, style, government, politics, sports, everything in between. So it's bringing together a lot of creative people in a very creative city in a very creative state, and seeing all the cool connections that come out of those interactions.
Did it always start out that way, or has it kind of morphed over the years to include some of these other things?
It is very much morphed and transitioned. And I think that's one of the reasons that the event has survived and thrived over 35 plus years. When we started way back in 1987, it was a music only event. We added film and technology in 1994. More recently, we started doing more health and med tech stuff. We do more transportation stuff. I like to say that the content that we do is often very much a reflection of what is hot and trending in the city of Austin. So for instance, when we added more health and med tech stuff, it was because the University of Texas was unveiling a new Dell Medical school, and when we added more transportation stuff, that was very much in line with the new Tesla plant in Austin. So again, cover all kinds of industries, but probably dive heaviest into things that are hot and trending in Austin.
I'll be honest. I mean, I've always thought of South by Southwest as a music festival first, and then maybe film and art. I don't think I even knew about the technology aspect of it. How is technology a big part of this festival? In what way?
Well, I think you can argue that there's a technology backbone to every industry at this point now. So it's really hard to do any kind of an event without being a technology event. But, as much as the event has changed over the years, going from music to incorporating more technology to these various other industries, the common thread, the common theme is very, very creative people. So we saw very, very creative people in the technology industry doing startups and wanted to incorporate that into South by Southwest. And, one of the things that we always find at South by Southwest is that you can learn a lot from people in your own industry. You can often learn even more from people in other industries, learning from their creative process, understanding how they've overcome problems, how they've achieved their successes, being inspired by what they do. And that's very much what we specialize in at South by Southwest.
And this festival has grown so much over the years since its inception. Obviously, had to take a big pause in 2020, and things are starting to really get ramped up again. Last year, I guess you guys did a hybrid year. Is that right?
Last year, we, like every other business in America and the world, were impacted pretty significantly by COVID. 2022 was our first year with a IRL in real life event, and it was hybrid, as you say. So there was a online component. This year, there will be some online content, but really more focused on our bread and butter, which is an in-person event. And certainly one of the things that we always find is, as much as technology has changed and improved, and there are all kinds of new ways to connect each other, nothing yet beats face-to-face interactions. It's what we celebrate in March in Austin, and always works well for us.
So are you guys back to where you were pre-pandemic levels?
We're not quite back at those numbers of 2019 yet. We're approaching those numbers. Probably take to 2024 to build back to those exact numbers, but it will definitely be a bigger event than last year. And what's particularly interesting there is that we've seen a big rebound in terms of the international attendance at South by Southwest. It was about 25% pre-pandemic last year, fell off a lot because a lot of the countries that we're working with could not travel to the US yet. This year, it's up to 28, 29, 30%. So I think that's indicative of all the international interest in Austin, all the international interest in Texas.
So for those folks who aren't familiar with South by Southwest and everything that it encompasses, is there anything out there that you might compare it to?
It brings together a lot of different other events and borrows from some and adds on others. It's a little bit like CES, the technology convention in Las Vegas. It's a little bit like Coachella, the music thing in California. It's also a little bit like Sundance because it has this big film element. Again, it's just this huge celebration of creativity in all its many forms, and a great way for people to be inspired, to make new connections, to create new opportunities that create new business for them.
You know, there has been some concern over the years because it has grown so much, concerns over crowd control and violent safety. Are you guys doing anything to address that?
Safety is always our number one concern at South by Southwest. So we continue to work with local, state, and federal authorities on how to make the event as safe as possible. We think we have a pretty good plan, and again, always want our attendees to have a safe experience and a positive experience at South by Southwest.
I mean, I know that this is a huge a moneymaker for the city of Austin. You guys bring in money like Super Bowl type money for Austin over the course of 9 or 10 days. It's really incredible. So what about you personally? You know, what are you looking forward to the most out of this festival this year?
I'm really excited about all the content that we're doing that's focused on generative AI. We know that this is the topic that everyone's talking about these days, and it's neat that we've got a ton of sessions, a ton of content on that. We also have a lot of content on climate change, and particularly climate change solutions, people who have new ideas on how to mitigate some of the challenges here. I'm also just excited to, meet all the people from our community that come to the event from all over Texas, all over the US, and all over the world. It's great to feed off their energy, their enthusiasm, their passion. It's very much a rite of spring for Austin.
And I know that this is the kind of thing that you can't put together in just a month or two. You're probably already working on 2024 right now before you even launch 2023. It's a huge endeavor, I'm sure. So where do you see this going in the next 5 or 10 years?
That's a great question. Yes, we're typically spending 10 or 11 months working on the thing. So we will lick our wounds a little bit after March, and then start again on 2024. Where we will be in 5 or 10 years, I'm not quite sure. But I think that if we continue to focus on creativity, we'll be in a good place. And I also think that where we are 5 or 10 years from now will very much match where the city of Austin is 5 to 10 years from now. I mean, people ask me what it will look like, and I say, what will Austin look like 5 or 10 years from now? That's what South by Southwest will look like.
Could you have foreseen back in the day that it would be where it is now?
Absolutely not. I started working at the event pretty early on, and didn't have any conception of how much it would grow, how much it would prosper, how much it would thrive, how much it would become an international event. But again, it's this power of creativity, of this theme that we've emphasized time and time again, that creative people have the ideas that can create new solutions that inspire others, and that has always been a ticket for our success.
Is there anything else you want our viewers to know about?
Come down to Austin next week, or follow us online. A great way to learn, to discover, to be inspired, and hope to see you here.
Awesome. All right. Hugh Forrest, Co-President South by Southwest. Thank you so much, and best of luck this year.
Thank you.
Take care.